The West has been manipulating international law as it pleases, depending on its agenda and its desires. The main principle in the UN Charter is article saying that the UN is based on the sovereign equality of states. There wasn't a single instance since the establishment of the United Nations. There wasn't a single regional or international conflict. There wasn't a single instance when the West used or relied on this principle of the sovereign equality of states. If you have any doubts, you can look through the history of diplomacy or international relations. There wasn't a single conflict when they respected this principle of sovereign equality of states, when the United States and its satellites respected this principle. So I call on all of you. So when we talk about the multipolar world order, about shaping it, we're not making up this reality. We are just saying, oh, friends, there are some permanent principles that are enshrined in the UN Charter, but you have to use these principles not as you please, depending on your momentary considerations by making constant U-turns, but you need to make sure that you follow these principles all of the way. This is what we're talking about, building a multipolar world order with a better justice. You don't have to do anything for this world order to take shape. It is happening on its own. There are new centers of financial and political power that are emerging. You look at India, look at China, look at Brazil, look at Africa.
All countries must respect equality of states and the right of people for self-determination. And they also mentioned the United Nations General Assembly resolutions, and this is clear that what they mean is the series of resolutions which they passed after the beginning of the special military operation, and which demand condemnation of Russia. Russia get out of Ukraine territory in 1991 borders. But there are other United Nations General Assembly resolutions which were not voted, but which were consensual. And among them is a declaration on principles of relations between states on the basis of the Charter. And it clearly says, by consensus, everybody must respect territorial integrity of states whose governments respect the right of people for self-determination, and because of that, represent the entire population living on a given.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are watching us from. It's another edition of Politics on the Street. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like our videos, share, comment for more political discourse. The Waymaker, the Russian government has dragged AU, European Union, and every other continent to support the Biafra. After the Biafra embassy was declared in Washington, do you think this is a milestone for the Igbos, or what? How can you answer, sir?
Thank you for having me this morning on this great channel. Yes, of course, it is a jubilation to Biafrans all over the world, both in Nigeria and diaspora, because as it is now, many people now are laughing at Samuepa, Finland, yes, are laughing at Samuepa that the Finland government want to jail, but it is not over yet, because the EU, the AU, as you have said, the Western world, the Russia now want to take over the battle. Don't forget that you can see the success Ibrahim Traore is achieving today now. You will see that the booty of this war is part of Ibrahim Traore now. And Ibrahim Traore now, they are dragging. You can see the video that is trending now. Of course, once you watch the video, that they have taken over this issue now. They have seen that the Finland government have compromised in this issue of Samuel Ekpa. Yes, they've compromised. You can see that Samuel Ekpa is not happy in that video. Samuel Ekpa looks unhappy. It's to tell you that Finland government are acting maybe probably against Nigerian instruction to make sure that Samuel Ekpa, they torture Samuel Ekpa. And the world is looking into it. That how can Samuel Ekpa appear before the court in this kind of manner? Does it mean that Finland government is maltreating him when he's not even guilty yet? So the case is still on. They have not seen any evidence to make Samuel Ekpa. As it is that Samuel Ekpa is not guilty yet. They are on the case. So what is dragging the AU, the Western world of this, the Western world, Russia now particularly, who are dragging this case with Finland, that they are maltreating Samuel Ekpa. You can see the other hand here, Mazin and Bekano, is being maltreated by Nigerian government. You can see this case that the DSS boss now have apologized to the court, which is Justice Omotocho, who have apologized to Mazin and Bekano for delaying this case for 10 years. And we keep saying that this Fulani man with the hatred that the former president Buhari has against the Igbo, which he unleashed on Nnamdi Kanu, you see it now as a lingering enough, and we are saying we are condemning this thing. So we are now they are saying that now that the Western world, the Russia now want to stand up and involve in this case because of this myopic act the Finland government want to do. Don't forget that Finland government was also in the same shoe of this Biafra. They want for yes, they fought for their referendum from Russia when they become independent. So one will assume that why is Russia treating Samuel Ekpa in this manner? Samuel Ekpa is a citizen of Finland. What could have transpired between Nigeria and the Finland government? Don't forget that this Finland government started their case against Samuel Ekpa since that very week that Nigeria Vice President Kashim Shettima met the Finland president in UK, and they discussed. We don't know what have transpired. We don't know what they have go exchange in hand to hand that makes the Finland government to be doing all these shameful and embarrassing things without expecting the matter. But as time goes on, we are seeing because we know that Samuel Ekpa will definitely triumph over this.
But sir, do you think that the struggle is now beyond Mazi in African and Samuel Ekpa? That the struggle is now at the global stage, whereby international communities are taking over the struggle.
No, the fact remains that it gladens my heart because this issue is going to this extent. Well, Samuel Ekpa issue is the first issue now that has international case. That means the world now has now known that there is a case called BiAFRA, a nation called BiAFRA, that are fighting for referendum in the issue of Samuel Ekpa dragging to Finland court. No, from Finland court now, they are still going to international criminal court. That's to tell you that this Biafran agitation is becoming more wider and everything. No cross, no cry. The people who are in the front line fighting for this Biafran referendum now, they are carrying the cross. The crown will surely come, and it will not be far from now. You can see what is going on right now. As you can see that whether the silent Mazin and Bekano, the silent Samuel Ekpa, it cannot stop the agitation of Biafra. I've said it time without number. Biafra is a spirit. Biafra is ideology. You cannot kill it. The Nigerians thought that by stopping Ojukwu, Biafra will end. Today, after Ojukwu, Wazirike stood up and took the mandate. After Wazirike, Mazin and Bekano came up. When Buhari arrested Mazin and Bekano, thinking that he will end the Biafra, running to court to proscribe IPOB as a terrorist organization, what happened? Samuel Ekpa stood up. As it is now, Samuel Ekpa, Mazin and Bekano, they are under the court, but is Biafra not still running? It's running. So it's an agitation. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop an ideology. So that's how it is. Well, the more they are trying to present Biafra as a terrorist organization, the more the world is seeing them. They are not a terrorist. They are not a terrorist because they are fighting for their legitimate right.
The police court has said that IPOB is not a terrorist group, as declared when Samuel Ekpa visited the court on the 31st. And the police court has said that IPOB is not. Samuel Ekpa has argued that IPOB is an origin of the Igbo people. That this is the identity of that tribe. Do you think the Nigerian government is seriously calling the Igbos a terrorist group? Because you can also that Arewa is the origin of the Fulani man. Odua is the origin of the Yoruba man. Why is it that the Igbo man, they are saying their own origin IPOB?
That's why I said that every governors of the Southeast during Buhari that allow Buhari to prescribe IPOP as a terrorist organization are all terrorists. Eh? All the governors who kept silent in Southeast that allow Buhari to prescribe or they call Buhari to manipulate the court to call IPOP as a terrorist, they are all terrorists. Why do I say they are all terrorists? What is the meaning of IPOP? IPOP is the meaning of indigenous people of Biafra. All put of them is indigenous people of Biafra. It's indigenous people of Biafra. All of them Charles Oludo, this Umai that is now the minister, all of them during Buhari government. They are Igbo, they are Biafrans. Is it because they are lucky they were not killed during Biafra war? Many that are better than them were killed in the Biafra war. Are they better than them? No. So Buhari did everything to make sure, because of the hatred they have against the Igbos, to make sure the world see Biafra as a terrorist. But the world is seeing it now that Biafra is not a terrorist. All Biafra wants is Biafra wants to exit from Nigeria. Why did Biafra want to exit from Nigeria? Because they have been marginalized. Because they have been put aside. They feel that they are not good to rule. And don't forget that this Biafra, no Biafra, no Nigeria. And that's why, listen to me, no Biafra, let me tell you, no Biafra, no Nigeria. Let me explain to you, no Biafra, no Nigeria, that's why they don't want Biafra to go. Why I mean that no Biafra, no Nigeria, Biafrans, Igbos are more relevant than Nigeria than Yoruba, than Hausa, than Fulani. Igbos are more original Nigerian than Hausa, than Yoruba, than Fulani. Why? Because every Igbo man, any community you go, you did not see Igbo man, you run away from there. Igbo man have contributed their effort to every community to make Nigeria a better place. But what they got in return is humiliation. What they got in return is abusing them that they are not good to rule. And that's why that their Igbos are more Nigerians than the people who are ruling us today. You can see here, that's why the world will not recognize IPOP as a terrorist, because they know that Igbos are being marginalized in Nigeria. Igbos are being pushed aside. You get my point? So Buhari wasted his time. He could not achieve what they want. What they want to tarnish the image of the Igbos, using it as Okorocha or Okoro Hausa, who bring a Fulani men to the government house and all those things. But all these things are bygone. But I know one thing is certain, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to triumph. And whether today or tomorrow, Biafra will come.
Thank you so much for your wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are watching us from. If it's another edition of Politics on the Street, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like our videos. Please share, comment for more political discourse. Mazirav, the Fulanis has come out to say that nobody can force them to accept restructuring. That they will not accept restructuring. That what does that what benefit is restructuring to the people of Nigeria. He said over their dead body, would they accept restructuring? Mazi, how can you answer, sir?
I think such reasoning is very, very animalistic. Yes, endangering. And on the other hand, destructive. And actually, we've seen who are posing danger to Nigerian economic stability here. And we see who, out of the Nigerian nationalities, are constituting, bloody, let me say, nuisance in Nigeria. Because we actually understand in recent time that the solution we have in Nigeria is tax reform. From tax reform, it is going to transpire into restructuring of Nigeria, economy. How do I mean here? Resources control. If you are from southeastern Nigeria, you manage the resources in your region. If you are from southwest, you do same. If you are from north, agriculturally, you need to strategize and become the food basket of not only Nigeria, but the entire West Africa. I think any tribe, any region, any man, any woman that goes against restructuring of this country called Nigeria, I think I have actually, giving you my own introduction. That person is falling into those phrases. I don't know what I understand. Fulani man is not needed what restructuring Nigeria, because Fulani man is posing a danger to Nigerian economy. They constitute trouble. Bloody troubles, bloody one. You see, When Nigeria was a unitary state, we were well endowed with agricultural produce. We had food in quantum. Southwestern Nigeria depended on cocoa. Yes, cocoa plantation, ape timber, and all that. Then in the southeastern Nigeria, we are the chief producer of palm oil in the whole world, and we did well. Then in the south you see you have people that are into fishery, fishing, fishery. That is what they know, and they made money out of fishery. And the other, let me say, agricultural produce from the south. You have rubber latex. Rubber latex is what we use today, on producing plastic, tires, cellophane, PPJ, polypropylene. Japan is a result of rubber latex because Japan is living on top of water. That's why they have much rubber latex. They produce it in Japan, and that is what Akwibom, former Benue State, which is current Delta State and Edo State, produce. They have rubber plantation in quantum. Rubber plantation in their millions in Akwibom and the Cross River State. And today Nigeria has turned their back on agriculture and begin to make our black gold, crude oil. And the Fulani as parasites that come from Sahara Desert. Parasite country, parasite tribes, parasitic Sahel country actually gave birth to the Fulanis that invaded Nigeria today. They are parasites. They don't have permanent place. Fulani is in Niger, Fulani is in Chad, Fulani is in Nigeria, Fulani is in Mali, Fulani is in Burkina Faso, Fulani is in northern Algeria, Fulani everywhere. They are parasites. Fulani parasites.
But Samasi, you've always come out to say that Fulanis are parasites.
Yes.
Now you said they are parasitic in nature, but why is it that in Nigeria, whatever they say would always stand? Why would they come out to say, when people are saying that it is high time we restructure this country so that the killings will stop? But why are they always coming out to oppose the killings? Sorry, why are they coming out to say they don't want restructuring? What are they afraid of?
Thank you so much. When I talk about parasites, parasitism, you start from biology. A parasite is a living organism that depends on another organism. You have nematodes, you have implants, all the climbers, do you understand, and friends. I'm just giving you an example. Then in human being, we have parasites. They don't have settlement, a basic settlement, a natural settlement. This is our own land. Fulani does not have land in Nigeria. Fulani is migrated from, I am telling you the truth, I don't hide it. This is social media. Fulani, they are watching. They migrated from Senegambia. They don't have a permanent place there. They are warlike in nature. They are not warlords because they are all cowards. When we say warlike, is somebody that a mere just simple provocation, he will commit murder. Yes, they like blood. Doesn't mean they are warlords, and it doesn't mean they are brave. No. When you are asleep, they are terrorists. When you are asleep, they will come and set your houses ablaze. If you come out at night, they will put you to sword. That's what we mean by warlike, not warlord. We have warlords across Africa that can withstand the whole Fulani communities in Africa. Give them days or weeks, Fulani will be nowhere to be found. So these people, the reason why they stand against restructuring is because they don't have permanent settlements. They wander from place to place, from place to place, from place to place. Mali to Cote d'Ivoire, Cote d'Ivoire to Togo, Togo to Niger, Niger to Nigeria, Nigeria to Sudan, Sudan to Chad. They are nomadic in nature. When you talk about wanderers, wandering originated from Cain. Cain, a brother to Abel, that slew his brother Abel. And God said, go. Cain started wandering all over the earth today. No permanent settlement. Fulanis are descendants of Cain, bloody people.
They are very people.
Very, very bloody. Sanguinary is another word. Sanguinary people, people that have soiled their hands with blood, and blood of the innocent are still crying, following every Fulani man wherever they go. Their forefathers, Cain, committed that crime. And the whole Fulanis are bloody people, bloodletting people, bloody people. Their hands are stained with blood. That's why they can't in their life embrace peace, let alone justice. Justice. When Fulani has never embraced peace, they stand against anything that can bring sanity in our political system, because they feed on thievery. Fulanis depend on brigandage. Fulanis depend on banditry. Fulanis are garrison of armed robbers. They move from place to place with AK-47, then gun, swords, jackknife. In fact, Fulani, 95% of Fulanis are terrorists across African continent. Why? They are jihadists. Their forefather Osman Dan Fodio introduced jihadists into Africa. 16th, 17th, 18th century. And there was a jihad war they fought in the north. Osman Dan Fodio conquered the Hausas. That's why they could not allow the Hausas a bridge today. If you are talking about Fulani man living north, you go to laugh. They are prepared now. That's why Nigeria is subjected to Fulani headers attack. Every week. No week that goes and comes. Benue people, did not die. They fight Benue people on weekly basis. Last week we counted 50 something. We are in a new week. Benue people, they are all on alert. Governor Alia is Aja Ozuzu. Aja Alia. Alia doesn't know what to do because Alia is Aja.